Well, hello, you guys. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to this little soiree. Um, yeah, no official show tonight. And I was just, honestly, I was just in the mood. I have nothing planned. I'm just in the mood to come on here and see what you guys have thoughts. Ripples the Clown thinks it would be interesting to have a conversation about the arts, especially as it relates to conservatives. I feel like they are missing a huge opportunity and should be embracing artists much more. Ripples the Clown, why should conservative people be embracing artists more? I don't understand. What I do notice is that in a small town, when the art community comes in, the town starts to change. I love the arts, love music, but it usually draws a certain group of people, and and that can be problematic if a small town doesn't really want to change, in my very humble opinion. So there's a P. I tried to get a hold of the Tyler, who runs That Oregon Life. There's a piece he put on about Tina Kotek, the governor of Oregon, today, and I'm pretty sure it's a spoof. He does that once in a while. He usually says on the article whether it's a spoof or not, and I think it's a spoof. But I swear to you, I think I've had 10 of them today that you guys have sent me, wanting to know if this is real. What is it? Is this really happening? And I think it is a spoof. But man, what is Tina Kotek doing, threatening, to go after any ICE agents that try to arrest people in Oregon who are here illegally? I don't understand where she is really picking a fight, trying to pick a fight with the president. I think he thinks she's so immaterial that he doesn't care. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think he has a whole lot of respect for her, as he sees what's going on in her state, where people are coming unglued and she keeps taxing people even higher. I don't know where she thinks that's going to go, but I mean, obviously it's an election year coming up. Obviously, she's going to run for governor. If this is how you get attention for that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that works. So how was your guys' Thanksgiving? We went to Red Lodge. In case you watch on here, you saw. Beautiful little town in Montana. Our forecast for the week is a little bit of snow almost every day. It's pretty cold. It was down to like 7 last night degrees. We've had it in the past down to like minus 52. That is pretty cold. What is going on in the news today? I haven't paid as close attention to over the holiday weekend. Sometimes it's really nice. Do you find it just to get away from all of this and not do anything? I asked people that one of the things that people came on the most, I thought it was kind of funny, is what's your favorite Christmas song? Oh my gosh, so many people answered that, and it was fun. I mean, it was fun seeing what you guys think and what you're, and I think it's just nice for you, a lot of you, to not have to have your opinions out there. None of us do on her partner. Let's expose my grandchildren. In Eugene, we've got gang talked on the eve. What is that, Alicia? I don't know what that is. She's messing with Trump. Trump and his staff will squelch her. That's what Cindy says. I think you're probably right. I don't think she understands who she's playing with and what sandbox. She is a very arrogant person, I'm finding. Oh, I see. Alicia is saying none of us know what she's doing, nor her partner. Let's expose my grandchildren. In Eugene, we've got gang talked on the eve. That's what I'm not sure what that means, Alicia. You can feel free to clarify, because I'd love to know what you're talking about. I think from what I'm hearing from people with the petition drive, stalked. Okay. We got gang stalked on the eve. Did you guys see where Portland had their tree lighting on, I think it was Friday, down at Pioneer Park, Pioneer Square, and they politicized the thing. That I saw so many complaints, people going, they were having chants about Palestine and all this stuff, and it's like, Portland, what the fuck are you doing? You need to stop. Everything they blame me, say all I ever talk about is political stuff. You don't make a tree lighting into a political statement. I mean, people are done. They're tired of it. They don't want that. Democrats don't want that. Only the far, far lefties care about that. She keeps poking at the lion, and that bad lion is going to chew her up. Yes, very arrogant. I agree with you. That he's disgusting tree lighting. Did you see that, Cindy? It was I'm obviously I wasn't there. I'm in Montana, but we're having our state tree lighting tonight. Merry Christmas, all. Silver is getting ready to go parabolic. May God's will be done. Explain more. I love. Oh, Logan, you need to explain more. We need to know what you're talking about. If I should send you a link, you could come on here and talk with me. That would be kind of interesting. Would you do that if I sent you a link? I think I could. I actually think I can send you a link. Now, let me think about this. Thank you. Is it Nuria Barnett? I'm sorry, I'm bludgeoning your name. I don't mean to. McLeod says, I would believe that Democrats and Republicans have signed the no tax petition. McLeod, you are 100% right. There's a ton of people in both parties. A lot of non-affiliated voters have contacted me. They're signing it. I honestly think, because some people were saying, well, it's only $300 a year or something like that. I think this is bigger than that. I don't think this is as much about the money. I think this is more about giving her a big FU because she's not listening to people. And I think people are tired of that. You know what I mean? And all this going on in the world is just amazing. They took my 2 grandchildren and I have been blocked every avenue to find them. I have heard that over and over again. I did good. Well, I used to be in the news, so I was a newscaster, and you had to kind of figure out names. The only ones I could never figure out were the new ruler of China or Japan. That was always hard for me. Can we get integrity in our voting again? Yeah, I think it's going to take a while, and that really, you know what you really need, Cindy, in Oregon? I mean, yes, you need integrity in voting, and yes, you need driver's licenses, some kind of identification to vote. And yes, you need to get rid of mail-in ballots. But you know what? You grew up with me in Hillsboro or like on the news. What you need first is to get, in the last presidential election, 200,000 Republicans didn't vote. They didn't vote. How do you make change in Oregon if you can't get conservatives to even vote? Bostic is Alicia Bostic. I think I do remember that name. Dry stupid. Kenny, are you calling me stupid on my podcast? Is that what that is? Hey, David, it would be nice to see Tina's face when she's handcuffed on the news. Okay. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I looked up her popularity rating again because I'll check that from time to time. She's still number 48. Brian says, I'm tired of not getting a vote. And hold on, Brian, I'm sorry. And just does what she wants with my state. It's true. They handed out driver's licenses to Mexican illegals in Woodburn. Get elected as a precinct committee person. I do not understand why Oregon is so resistant to identification. And it's not racist. I mean, come on. They act like people of other races. If you're here legally, how hard is it to get a driver's license? I mean, good Lord, anybody can do that. We want our voices heard again. Bobby, I 100% agree. I'll tell you what, that's the best thing about living in Montana. I feel like my voice is heard. You know what I mean? We need addresses, birth certificates, and legal names. Yep. Oregon's only hope is to stop the mail-in ballot scam. But McLeod, before you do that, that's going to take time because there's a lot of people who really like it, even Republicans. So that's going to take time. So you guys have to find a plan B. That's plan in the future, you got to vote. You got to get the people out there to quit giving up on Oregon and start voting. I think there's a lot of people who just act like Oregon can never change. I think Oregon is changing. I think it can change. I don't think the urban areas have to always run everything. And I think more people are more aware than ever of the bullshit. You know what I mean? Look at the pandemic. I mean, that's what opened my eyes. That's why I left. My wife and I left because of the way Oregon handled the pandemic. And it was like an authoritarian coup. Honestly, we really need Trump's help. We could pay her check, paying price, and can we deport her back to Pennsylvania? What do you guys think of the idea? I don't know if I'm supportive of this or not. I don't know, because there's good people that move to Oregon from out of state. But to be governor, what if you have to be from that state? I heard somebody bring that up, and I thought that was kind of a good answer. She doesn't know the culture of Oregon. She doesn't know. I don't think she knows there's a rural Oregon. Do you know when they were trying to when they were that greater Idaho movement, when all those counties still would like to move out of Oregon, just have the line redrawn and be part of Idaho? They tried to get a meeting with her, the organizers of that group, and they've tried and tried and tried, and she won't meet with them. If you were the governor of Oregon and you had a huge chunk of your state actually considering drawing a new line to go to Idaho, wouldn't you go talk to them or find out what was going on? To pad those pockets. Did you guys? I saw a report on how much money Tina Kotek is worth. I don't know if it's true, so I don't want to repeat it. But any politician that is becoming a millionaire off of politics, what's that up again? This isn't up to Trump to fix. It's up to the people in the friggin' state. Johanna, I 100% agree with you. And I don't think Trump's he's got too many other things going on. And you guys should be able to take care of Tina Kotek. You don't even need to be from the United States. For what? To be a governor? I think you do. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you bring up a point. I should not tell you you're wrong. I do not know for a fact that is true. I just returned 3 years ago. The corrupt Secretary of State thought she could take money from cartel. Then she was fined. Oh, yeah. What was her name? Oh, what? Tina? Or no, Pagan. Is that right? Something? Yeah. Well, and then Val Hoyle, remember her? She's still your congresswoman in Oregon, and she was getting money in little paper bags from the marijuana industry. It's hard to be committed to voting when the system is so corrupt to assist illegal votes. I get that, James. But what's your option? You know what I mean? Shania Fagan. There you go. Thanks, P. Doug Nort, whatever that is. Shania Fagan. What happened to her? She went to the place where Democrats go when they do bad. The only hope for Oregon is, to get the crooked Democrat politicians out of office. Shania, you guys are good. Shania. Oh, wow. That's a big one. Apologies for dropping this, but it feels too great to visit your timeline. I always enjoy what you share. Oh, you know what? I think Donald's is, I'd ignore that. Larson got her off. What do you mean? What did Lars do? I'm not aware of what you're talking about. Spell check screwed me up. Shamia. Oh, it is Shamia, isn't it? What a dumb name. I worked in bars for years, and you need a valid ID to get into a bar, but somehow here's what when I ran for Secretary of State, they were all bitching about that too. And I was like, you have to have it back then. You had to have a driver's license to rent a video at Blockbuster. And we don't require one for voting. I mean, come on. Oh, Ripples the Clown's here. The popular artists can tell our stories. Look at Kid Rock. Closer to the Heart Rush tells a great story. Well, I'm all about art, but it also usually draws in a lot of different people, and they usually have more left-leaning type of behaviors, if you know what I mean. So anyway, um, okay, I'm going to take that off. Okay, so there we go. All right. Why is it not called a Christmas tree in Portland? What did they call it, Jason? I didn't hear. Is it a holiday tree? Yeah. Well, I have a little different take on that whole thing, and I don't know if you're interested in hearing mine, but um, I I I kind of have this weird notion about Christmas, the holiday tree. I I'm not sure Jesus really gives a shit. Because he wasn't actually born. It's not really his birthday. I mean, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but okay, so I was reading and while I'm sitting here trying to think, but I always have kind of a controversial take on Christmas. It's not really Jesus's birthday. I don't think Jews actually back in the time really celebrated birthdays, so that's kind of an interesting thing. Um, God tells us not to to join in with pagan celebrations. So don't take his celebrations and join them with pagan celebrations, which is exactly what Christmas is. Um, a tree is actually a symbol for a phallic symbol, just like the steeple on a church. So we put on our churches a giant penis, and we put penises in our house at Christmas time and put balls on them and lights. So, I mean, and I have a Christmas tree. I have a tree, but for me, Christmas is a pagan. It's I just take Jesus. I celebrate Jesus's birth every day. I like the Christmas holiday season. I think there's a lot of good things about it, but I don't. When people say Jesus is the reason, I don't think he's really the reason for the season. Personally, I think it's Coca-Cola who historically turned and religious people back in the 1800s, they didn't you weren't allowed to celebrate Christmas. Um, and so you were not that was illegal. And then Coca-Cola came in and everybody started making money off of it. And what about Christmas looks like Jesus? I know we do the gifts and the wise men thing, but that's kind of a stretch. I mean, you know, it stresses people out. It puts so much pressure on buy, 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 buy. It's a commercial nightmare. There's not much about Christmas that looks much like Jesus. So I can sell you could celebrate however you want, but I just wouldn't get too caught up in all the holly and everything. And like if that's just my, if they call it a holiday tree, that might be better. I don't really care. And I still say Merry Christmas to people. It's a cultural thing, I think. But I do wonder sometimes if God rolls his eyes and goes, "Good Lord, what have you done with my son?" They're cutting a ton of trees around me, but they ain't Christmas trees. Nice sized trees coming off the ODF land. That's what we like to hear, Mike. That's what we'd like to hear. So, yeah, I think, yeah, and I was a little more radical about my points and my point of view a few years ago, and I've kind of softened on it. I just, but I mean, if just for me, I really look at it and I think, this is not, you know, Christmas stresses people out a lot, and it's too much about buying things, and um, and what happens to the people that you feed at Christmas time when January 20th comes around? Does anybody care then? Are we taking care of the poor after Christmas and Thanksgiving? Um, why is it? You know what I mean? I think that's kind of stupid. I mean, not that we shouldn't do it, but we should be doing it all the time. Just, oh, everybody needs to have a nice Christmas dinner. Well, you know, those people that you're giving the Christmas dinner they probably would like to have a nice dinner or a decent dinner or any dinner anytime, not just at Christmas. Donald Charles, I will look at your wall. Yeah, Cindy, be real careful. I get a lot of people on here that do stuff like that. Oh, you're so beautiful, and I want to be friends with you, and it's fake accounts and stuff. Just be really careful. So, okay. So anyway, blessed we make most of our gifts. That's a cool idea. Yeah, and spending time with family and having a dinner and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of good things about it, and and I don't want to be a humbug. And I've got little trees back here. I put them up there for the Christmas season. But is it, if you look at the history of it, it was Christians joining with the pagans to create this celebration and here's the part that bugs me, and this is just, and if somebody, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the other thing that kind of bugs me is that you joined forces so you could bring more people into the faith, but you kind of lied to them because you made Christmas into something that it really wasn't, and that's kind of weird to me. Nobody around here I'm living with celebrates the pine beetle, but I do believe that is probably what the Christmas came from. Joke, pine beetles are bad. Have you seen Kotek? Hold on. It's hard to, this goes really fast. Announced Christmas in Oregon will now be known as, I don't think that's true. I know Tyler, who owns that Oregon Life. He and his, I think his girlfriend, they run that page. It's a great page, but they periodically do spoofs. And I think just from reading, I didn't read the whole thing. It usually will say at the end though, if it's a spoof, but I don't think, I think that's a spoof. Cause I've seen ones on there before that were just crazy. And then I'd write Tyler and he'd go, no, look at the end. So go look again and see if it might be something. Love your thoughts when you put your thoughts down. Deep thoughts, Rick, really make me think on a deeper level. Well, Cindy, I'm glad. I tend to be that way. I always have. And I can't settle for what people tell me anymore, especially after COVID. But even when I was a news guy, I was always curious and wanting to know something deeper about what was going on. And, when I got on the Christmas, now don't get me on Easter. Okay. I'm just terrible. I'm terrible about Easter. I think Easter is just awful. I mean, Easter is really it's another pagan celebration that we Christianized to make more people want to come into the fold. And I don't think God needs to coerce people to become Christians. Thank you, Carol. And, so we say we're celebrating the death and resurrection of Jesus and it didn't really happen on the Good Friday. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of weird things like that, but it also is joining pagan forces with Ishtar, the goddess of fertility. So you're joining forces with the goddess of fertility and Jesus and putting them together, and you come up with an Easter bunny and chicks. It makes no sense to me. And nothing says the love of Jesus like a good Easter egg hunt. I mean, he died on a fucking cross for us so we could live forever. And we make it into that. I mean, I don't know. You go look into it and then you decide for yourself. I think it's because something that got started by pagan doesn't mean we can't turn it around as something good. No, God says he doesn't. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to join traditions. You're not supposed to mix. God says very clearly, do not mix traditions. That's mixing traditions. So for me, I celebrate it as a pagan thing. I'll celebrate Jesus every day. I don't want to mix it together. That's what he says. I'm just telling you. And, I'm not going to die on this. That's not the hill I'm going to die on, but it is something I think about. Practices of the people are worthless. They cut a tree out of the forest and shape it in with the chisel. They adorn it with silver and gold, then fasten it with hammers and nails. Jeremiah 10. I have a feeling that's going to be on a fucking cross. Yeah, didn't he die on a fucking cross? I think that's a fucking cross. Thanks, Rick. You never know what Kotex will do next. Oh, yeah, we don't. And the dates on all these holidays are not only just off, not even close, you know? Yeah, Chris. And that the stuff like that does matter. You know why it matters? Because it's not the truth. And if we're going to be a culture, look how much we've learned about the truth and how much it sets us free. It's like if we're going to be free, then we need to be the truth. Luana, you do as you please. I totally support you. Way off, LOL. Yeah. Heavy Flow is my name for her. Oh no. Hey, you guys, here's something kind of funny. It's off topic. He died on a tree. Exactly. Not a Christmas tree. But did you guys know that a Christmas tree is, in pagan times and cultures, it was a sign of fertility? It's like a penis. And so is the steeple on a church. It's a phallic symbol. So, and I love old churches. They're beautiful, but it's kind of makes you look at them different and going, whoa, that guy's packing. It's a great time of year to volunteer. One of the best memories I had in the holidays as a girl, granddaughter. Oh, that's cool. Kotex says, oh, Cindy. Oh, that's awful. She is. I think, I don't know if she's worse than Kate Brown. I think they're both equally horrible. But anyway, so I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. I was in Red Lodge, Montana. And with one of my kids, we're going back to Portland for Christmas. I know, but my son lives there and his wife and my grandkid, Nico. So we're going to go back there for a week or so, like 5 days or something. Getting scratchy. Do they have good Christian churches in your area? I suppose they probably do. I don't know. I've gone a couple times to a funeral, and I went to a couple of churches in Helena, but I haven't really attended church for about 15 years as an organized religion kind of thing. I know some people have all kinds of things to say about that, but there's too much business going on and not enough Jesus. So I do it the way I do it. I can't text on this. California, you please ask what's going on with the ballot for vote in person. Yeah, I will try to find out from Ben. He's a friend of mine. He's running that one. And bunny rabbits were pagan worshipers. Yeah. Fertility and Jesus, they go hand in hand. That Washington Monument in DC is also, yeah. And that guy's packing, isn't he? Hung like a horse. Oh, hung like a horse. Watch Athlete Creek. I believe David has the information on the tree. No, I saw that it's Portland PDX something has, I saw David had it too, but PDX has it on theirs too. What was going on. And there's a whole report on there if you're looking for that. I'm not saying combine holidays. I'm saying celebrate Christ, not pagan. Pagan did not celebrate Christmas. They celebrated winter solstice. But then it got the pagan part of it. This is what my point, Luana. I don't need to argue with you. You could do what you got to do. But the fact is that the pagan winter solstice and then the church came together and put the two celebrations together and made Christmas. And God says he doesn't want us to mix tradition. That's mixing tradition in my mind. But, do what you do. I celebrate Christmas, but I love that Jesus was born for me. and I celebrate that all the time. So, but and I do put a little manger scene up, even though it's not accurate. And as years go by, I'll probably get rid of that. Hard to find a church that's not a business first. Yeah, Logan, that's why I don't go. It's one of the more controversial things I do that people don't agree with and don't like. So I don't bring it up a lot, but it tends to come up at Christmas. Yep, all the origin stories. I love the lights and trees, hot cocoa and shit. Also not practicing nor affiliated. Churches today just teach what they are told. They keep it safe. They're just like everybody else. Politics, everybody has to go by the company line. And they hate for you to do your own research. I I had churches that did not like me very much when I started asking questions. And I felt the same way. That's interesting. I felt the same way during when I ran for a public office. It was just like church. It was the Republican Party was just like a dysfunctional church, and the Democrat Party is the same way. They're all about the party and the politics, and they're right, and everybody else is wrong. A lot of similarities. Embodying the spirit of nature, even barren winter. Cool. You're welcome. So I just listened. No judgment here, Rick. I have a great one from Fort Mojave, Arizona in my winter. Harvest Bible Church. Good. I love when people find a place they can go. You don't worship the tree and it's good. No, I don't worship the tree. I worship God. I don't bow my knee before a tree or culture or people, a party, not even President Trump. Elliston, Montana was my first church when I moved there as a kid. I met God that day because I walked away from the picnic and God helped me out of the woods 5 minutes. Amazing story. And I know where Elliston is. Gregorian calendar versus Julian calendar. Yep. Easter is the abomination, quick like a bunny. Oh, how come that happened? Okay, there we go. Chris Ayers, apologies for dropping this. Oh, Donald, I think we're going to have to take care of you. I'm going to block him. He's a dipshit. So we are in the process of blocking Donald. There, he is now blocked. You don't have to worry about him anymore. Don't answer his questions. Thou shalt not question authority. That's not in the Bible. Caught you live. Yippee. Oh, Tammy, good to have you. And they book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse. Churches are a business, don't need to be a church. You know what I think in America? Used to live in the area. My friend Gary goes there. I think that churches should no longer be tax exempt. I mean, Jesus says, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. So if you own property, you should be taxed on it. Because if you don't, then I'm paying for it. You and I are paying for that. So they're unfairly taxed. They don't have to pay that tax. And somebody has to make that up. And that's you and me. And that's not God's way. He says, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar. So if you're going to be a church or a mosque or a synagogue, then pay your damn taxes. You don't leave it up to your parishioners and strangers and people in your community that don't even, no wonder people don't like the church. It's like you get all these freebies and you shouldn't. There, that'll get me in trouble. Dipshit sounds like a compliment on that one. I think you should wear what you feel comfortable in, unless it's naked. I don't want to see that. Have a great Bible teaching church in Harrisburg. There's a lot of good Bible teaching churches, I'm sure. Hey, Rick, there's a story you might want to cover about a caregiving company in Springfield that might be interested in covering. Email me, Saraya, at rickdancer.com. Did Jesus have a belly button? I don't know. The bigger question is, was it an innie or an outie? and not one penny more. Acts 50, Peter, King James. You've dealt with our company before, and we are about to be closing by seemingly unfair reasons. What happened? Can you, my email, send me an email. Hey, Wayne, I had a guy a few weeks ago stop me at Weimar and start preaching to me. And I told him I worship Jesus my own way without going to church. It was like nice conversation until I asked, why aren't dinosaurs in the Bible? He immediately said, I need to leave, and shook my hand and laughed. I love the spiritual meaning of Christmas and hate the Black Friday. That's fair. Then you will be forcing God's people to support things that are ungodly. Who, me? I don't know if you're talking to me. Rick, I am the girl you did an interview with about 2 years ago. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Naked would not be good. How do you know, Tom? Here in Texas, we have a lot of Bible. I bet you do. We are emailing you. Thanks. Thank you, Saraya. My church in Wyoming doesn't do the tax exempt filing, so they don't have to be beholden to the government. Tammy, are you kidding me? Seriously? Oh, would they talk to me like in a podcast? That would be, we could stir up some shit, couldn't we? Seriously? So you have a church, you're in Wyoming, and you have a church, and they don't take the tax exempt status, so they don't have to be beholden to the government. I love that. Oh my God, we could stir up such a hornet's nest. Tell them, okay, rick@rickdancer.com. That's my email. No, I would love to talk to them about that, because I think it's wrong. I don't think churches should be taking a tax exempt status, because somebody has to pay that. And so what you're doing is, we're here to help. We're here to take care of people, but we get a tax exempt status. So you have to help. Your taxes are helping to pay so that we can be here. No, that's not how God does things. Adam didn't have a belly button, no umbilical cord. But do you know that for a fact? Maybe God gave him one as a decoration. It's like, why do men have nipples? I mean, can you imagine how silly you'd look without nipples? Of course you have to have nipples, but they don't work. I mean, these are non-functioning machines. Women have nipples for a reason. Ours are just decoration. So I think Adam might have had nipples. I mean, a belly button. We have plenty of emails for you. I'm a part of the company closing. Oh, are you really? Okay. Yes. Send me emails. Not only churches. Okay, Raymond, you want to get, oh, no, I wasn't trying to hide Raymond. Hold on. Let me get that out of there. That gives too many breaks. You mentioned earlier, however, the trade-off is you are restricted from expressing political views or promoting a candidate. You also have to pay for approval. Well, they shouldn't be promoting candidates or anybody, I don't think. Something I agree with. Wow, Logan, you're a smart man. I don't even know what that word means. Oh, because you spelled it wrong. Adam did not have a belly button because he was not born. He was created. But do you think God gave him a belly button anyway, just so that he wouldn't look funny? Oh, but that wasn't supposed to. Well, then his kids all had belly buttons. Can you? I can't believe we're talking about whether Adam had a belly button. Did Eve? She wouldn't have a belly button either, because she wasn't born. She was created out of Adam's rib. So she might have a little mark up here or something. I don't know how that works. But can you imagine if you didn't have a belly button, how silly you'd look? I think. I've known men that have had 4 nipples, like 2 of them didn't come in all the way, and so you can see like a little mark. You have the real nipple, and then you have another nipple. I've never met a woman that way, but I don't see a lot of women's nipples. A rib button. Crystal, that's very good. The whole belly button thing is pointless and misses the point of the story. I agree, Raymond, but tangents are tangents and people will go on them. But honestly, I have to say, I had never in my life thought about whether Adam and Eve had belly buttons. So look, you have expanded my mind. I'm going to go home. Probably one of the first things I'm going to say to my wife is, do you realize that Adam and Eve didn't have belly buttons? And she's going to go, so you did a podcast on what? Oh, we are political as far as biblical conservative stances, although not donating churches to candidates and such. Yeah, no, I can see where, well, I don't know. Maybe I agree with you, Tammy. Maybe I'm on, if you're a church and you're not taking money from the government, but how come schools do it all the time? You know how many schools I've seen with the stupid pride flags or rainbows in their windows? And I've even seen schools in the Portland area where they had candidates' names on signs and they were in the window of the teacher. And I called and said they needed to get those out because that's not supposed to be there. And schools do it all the time. It's disgusting in Oregon. Where can I find out financials on nonprofit groups in Oregon, or is that possible? Nonprofit, non-tax exempt necessarily. How to know if legitimate. Ardell, I don't really know. If there's anybody on here who could tell Ardell how to do that, I'm sure they have to register. And I bet I would start with the Secretary of State's office in Oregon. Most businesses and I think nonprofits have to register through that. I'm guessing that would be my best bet. Well, you guys, for not having anything planned, you sure made that fun. I mean, oh God. Yep, hypocrites, period. Exactly. Belly buttons, penises. I mean, I think we got a lot of body parts in tonight. Tom says, ask Google. Yeah, just be careful. It might tell you only things about liberal ones. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this little baby up, but it was so good to see you. Bruce knows. On my wall, it says, respect the people in authority. That's also gave me higher authority than the governor to do my job the way Jesus would have me to do it. Good point, Bruce. It also gave me higher authority than the governor. Yeah. I've always questioned authority, not God's, not Christ's, but, it's, so tomorrow I'm working on a show, and the rest of the week, and a lot of these people come on. One of them, I'll tell you about it later, but I'm going to go check my email because I want to find out about businesses, and Tammy's going to talk to her church and find out if we can get them on here and find out more about what they're talking about. That'd be kind of fun, don't you think? Two ways. One is through the Secretary of State's office, verified, and the IRS has a status checker. Not all will show up because of the type of exempt BS, I think is what you meant. You're leaving already? I missed most of your podcast. Tom, we start on the dot at 5 Montana time or 4 Oregon time. What, you just want me to be here for you like for hours at a time? Well, I can't do that all the time. I can't wait to see what, if anything, happens to Walsh. And yeah, me too. It's getting crazy out there, but we kept it kind of cool tonight, and not over the top. But I have a feeling that'll change tomorrow. Cody Cowboy Church. I love Cody. Is that where you live, Tammy? I was not far from you. I was in Red Lodge this weekend. Really close to Cody. That first animal that was created didn't have belly buttons, and the chicken came first. Who's going to sit on the egg? Luana, you are really into this, aren't you? We need you to be here 5 p.m. Oregon time, but then at 6 p.m. my time. And, it just gets harder and harder, but we'll work on it. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, it's always 4 o'clock Oregon time. And we get a big audience, so it seems to be working okay. And you guys, you can go back and watch it afterwards, but this has been fun because you get to come on here. The rooster came first, by the way, had to get a rib. They used his thigh. Did they use dark meat or white meat for that first rooster? Oh, I live in Red Lodge. No way, Tammy, you live in Red Lodge? That's where I was. I was there. I was just there. Oh, that's so crazy. Um, Lots of information coming on here for this tax exempt stuff. All right. I will talk to you probably tomorrow night. It's coming back from 4 days off. I'm catching up. But remember, Al Bundy tried starting a church for his no ma'am club to avoid paying taxes. I think a lot of people do that. Uh, Dinosaurs. Oh, it's getting so complicated, you guys. All right. I'll talk to you later. Share this on your page. Let other people know what we talked about,